So at the Game Awards just recently, Monolith, the studio behind the Middle-earth games, specifically Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor and Middle-earth Shadow of War, this studio has announced, along with WB Games, the studio's publisher, that Wonder Woman is their next game. They are making a Wonder Woman game, and there is a lot of reason to be excited for this one. And the primary reason for that is because there's a lot of potential with a Wonder Woman game. And so I just want to re-clarify a post that I made about this just recently. There's 5 things that they need to get right with this game. 5 things. Number 1, the first and most primary thing that they need to get right is the power of flight. Wonder Woman is a character that can fly. So they definitely need to capture that and do so in a way that's seamless. You know, the player should be able to initiate flight at will with the press of a button. And, you know, they could also incorporate some aerial combat as well. Maybe you can swoop down and grab enemies, you know, from off the ground, you know, fly them up. Initiate some combos or whatever, or even, you know, snatch enemies up from the ground, fly them up top and just drop them. You know, there's a lot of creative things that they can do with Wonder Woman's ability to fly. So that's the first thing. That's absolutely essential. The second thing that's very important is the Lasso of Truth. The Lasso of Truth is a big part of Wonder Woman's combat style. She uses the Lasso of Truth pretty consistently in combat. So that's something that they absolutely need to nail. The movies did a great job of showcasing the Lasso of Truth. They've actually done a much better job than they probably had any right to. And the game needs to be just as good as far as the execution goes with the Lasso of Truth. And they can even use the Lasso of Truth as a makeshift grappling hook attachment. You know, you can grapple to various points in the environment if need be. You can grapple enemies or whatever. They can use it to solve puzzles. You know, there's a lot of different things that they can do with the Lasso of Truth. The third thing they need to get right is the cuffs. They need to have enemies in the game that fire guns. That way the player can use Wonder Woman's cuffs as a tool of deflection, which is one of the more grandiose aspects about the character. The cuffs are very important, and they absolutely need to incorporate them in the combat system somehow. Like I said, this should be something simple. Similar to her flight ability, the cuffs should be basically a guard button. Like you'll hold down a button or whatever, and that'll shoot the camera behind Wonder Woman, and you can move around and she'll automatically deflect any projectiles that come her way. That's the simplest way to do it. Number 4, fourth thing they need to absolutely get right is her strength. Wonder Woman is about as strong as Superman. I wouldn't say she's on the same level, but she's about as strong as he is. At least, you know, in other forms of media. In the comics, I do believe there was an instance where Wonder Woman actually defeated Superman in combat. So she's very powerful, and they need to emphasize the fact that she's powerful. You should be able to pick up enemies with ease, grab large objects in the environment, destroy any powerful man-made equipment with ease. Equipment such as tanks, for example, would be ideal. Again, there's a lot that they can do with her strength, but it definitely needs to be emphasized. And the fifth and final thing is that they need to nail her speed. So Wonder Woman can move very quickly. She's not on the same level as Flash or Superman, but she can move pretty damn quick. And so if they incorporate something similar to the Fear Takedown, like in the Batman Arkham games, or they had a similar mechanic in Ghosts of Tsushima, if they incorporate something like that in this game, I think that will basically satisfy that requirement right there. Outside of those 5 basic traits, another thing they should do is avoid an origin story. We already have the movies, we have the comic books. We don't need an origin story. Just have it like the Batman Arkham games, Guardians of the Galaxy, Spider-Man, the Spider-Man games. Just make it so the character has already been Wonder Woman for a number of years. Do an original story, which I believe they've already stated that's what they're doing. And they need to have certain comic book characters make an appearance. If they want to have a bunch of Easter eggs and references to other DC characters, that's fine. But as far as Wonder Woman's Rogues Gallery goes, they need to have quite a few in there. Cheetah, I want to see Cheetah in the game somewhere. She doesn't necessarily have to be the big bad in the game, but they do need to incorporate Cheetah somehow, considering she's basically the most well-known Wonder Woman villain. They need to have Cheetah somewhere in there. And they don't necessarily need to go open world, but I think that's what they're doing because they're also incorporating the Nemesis system from the Middle-earth games, which I believe WB trademarked the Nemesis system, so no other company can use that system. They did that a number of years ago. Assuming they go open world, I definitely want the invisible jet to be used as a fast travel mechanic. And if players just want to fly to each objective or each marker, each destination, that's fine too. But if they're going to incorporate fast travel, it would only make sense to put something in there from the comics like the invisible jet, the invisible plane, invisible jet, whatever. So that's basically it. 5 things that they need to nail. And I'm very much looking forward to seeing gameplay for this. This is the second out of the big 3 major characters that's received their own game. Obviously, we have Batman with the Batman Arkham series. Now we're getting, Wonder Woman. Hopefully, this will be successful and it will lead to an eventual Superman game. So that's what my hope is as well from this, if this is indeed successful. Although, a Superman game would be much harder to tackle compared to a character like Wonder Woman. But this could be a stepping stone to getting a Superman game. So I wish Monolith the best, and I'm looking forward to seeing the gameplay review when they eventually show it.
You can be